In this class, I'll be discussing degrees or the types of elasticity. So depending on the size or the magnitude of the coefficient of elasticity, the degree of elasticity can be classified into 5. The first one is what is called elastic, or what is known as fairly elastic. Fairly elastic. Okay, fairly elastic. Elastic or fairly elastic. So if it is demand, we call it elastic demand or fairly elastic demand. If the supply, we call it elastic supply or fairly elastic supply. Okay. Now, when we calculate our elasticity, be it elastic of demand or elastic of supply, if the coefficient of elastic of demand is greater than 1, we call it elastic or fairly elastic. 2, if we have inelastic or what is called fairly inelastic. Okay, fairly inelastic. When we have fairly inelastic, be it demand or supply, the coefficient will be less than 1. If the coefficient of elasticity is less than 1, we call it inelastic or simply fairly inelastic. So 3, that's what we call unitary elastic. When the coefficient, that is the degree of the elasticity, is equals to 1, that is, when the degree of elasticity is equals to 1, so we call it unitary elastic. 4, so the fourth one is what is called perfectly elastic. Also known as infinitely elastic. So when we have perfectly elastic or infinitely elastic, we have it when the coefficient of elasticity is infinity. That is equals to infinity. That is, it is undefined. Okay? And the last one, which is the fifth one, is what we call perfectly inelastic. Perfectly inelastic, or what we call zero elastic. So we have zero elastic if the coefficient of the elasticity is equal to 0. Okay, so all these you have to master them to be able to interpret the coefficient of elasticity perfectly. Okay, so that wherever the value you get for your elasticity is greater than 1 and you are asked what type of elasticity is this, so we say it is elastic demand or fairly elastic demand. So if wherever you find the coefficient of elasticity to be greater than 1 and you are asked what type of elasticity is this, you know that this is elastic demand. Why? Because the coefficient of elasticity is greater than 1. What is a situation whereby the coefficient is less than 1? So if it is less than 1, it is inelastic or fairly inelastic. If it is equal to 1, we call it unitary elastic. If it is equal to infinity, we call it perfectly elastic or infinitely elastic. And lastly, if it is equal to 0, we call it perfectly inelastic or zero elastic. Don't forget to like the video, drop your comment, and also share the video to benefit others. Bye. See you in the next video.